This is the case of Justin Mohn. Around 7 p.m. on January 30, Michael Mohn's wife, Denise, returned home to discover her husband's body lying in their bathroom. The couple's adult son, Justin, was nowhere to be found, nor was Michael Mohn's car or head. Denise Mohn called the police, who arrived at the scene and discovered a large kitchen knife and a machete in the bathtub. Officers also located the deceased male's head inside of a plastic bag, which was inside of a cooking pot in a first-floor bedroom next to the bathroom. Shortly thereafter, police were made aware of a YouTube video posted by Justin Mohn. He identifies himself in the video and appears to be reading from a pre-written statement. At one point in the video, he holds up a clear plastic bag, inside which is his father's head. He identifies his father, Michael Mohn, as a 20-year federal employee and a trader. Michael Mohn was an engineer with the Geo-Environmental Section of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Philadelphia District. America is rotting from the inside out as far-left, woke mobs rampage our once prosperous cities, Justin Mohn says in the video. In his statement, YouTube said the video was removed for violating the site's graphic violence policy. It also terminated Justin Mohn's channel in accordance with YouTube's violent extremism policies. Our teams are closely tracking to remove any re-uploads of the video, YouTube said. Justin Mohn reportedly has a history of extremist and paranoid beliefs. As the Associated Press notes, Mohn threatened and harassed employees at a Colorado Springs credit union where he was previously employed. He threatened to sue the business for $10 million unless it agreed to a $2 million settlement. He also said he would make false statements to provoke police to attack its employees, which he planned to film. While employed, Mohn accused co-workers of tampering with evidence in a disciplinary matter against him. Co-workers also identified lines from a song or poem written by Mohn as threatening. The title of the piece was "Men Don't Get No Warning Shots." Mohn's former roommate, Davis Rebhan, said that while the two were living together around 2016, he often heard Mohn proclaiming wild conspiracy theories. Even back then, he had very clear issues. He would always talk about how the government was out to get him, and it was always like these vague stories about it, Rebhan told CNN. He would never give specific examples. He would tell me these stories that always seemed exaggerated, so it was hard to take anything he was saying seriously or know what he was saying the truth about. The two lived together for about a year, during which Mohn only ever received a single visitor, his father. "I got nothing from that visit that would have made me ever think this would happen," Rebhan recalled. Later, Mohn sued Progressive Insurance after he was fired, alleging that he had been discriminated against for being a man who was intelligent, overqualified, and overeducated. A federal judge said Mohn provided no evidence to indicate that this was true. Rather, the company said he was fired for kicking open a door. According to Rebhan, it wasn't out of character for Mohn to violently lash out. At one point, he had a hysterical fit and smashed the apartment, Rebhan said. I wasn't home when he did it, so I don't know what triggered it, but we had a long conversation after that, and he told me he had undiagnosed PTSD. Mohn's case is certainly a disturbing outlier, but some experts fear that there are others like Mohn who could be provoked to violence due to deeply politicized extreme rhetoric. The bigger picture is extremely concerning, I think, as we go into what will be an incredibly heated political season. CNN law enforcement analyst and former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe says, "It is fair to assume that Mohn was clearly motivated by politics, as evidenced by his video diatribe. The larger concern, according to McCabe, is that the sorts of things Mohn said are reflective of overheated, deeply politicized, extreme rhetoric that you hear sometimes in this country from politically elected officials and leaders." McCabe raised concerns that this kind of rhetoric could have a genuine impact on marginalized people with extremist views who might be driven to embark in acts of violence. Given that 2024 is sure to be a heated year politically, with the upcoming presidential election, stories like Mohn's serve as an example of how the propagation of extremist conspiracy theories and violent rhetoric can impact vulnerable and violent proportions of the population. That is the case of Justin Mohn.